Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Today, AMD proves they're amazing. Intel has 20 ARC GPUs, Nvidia's losing their mind, big supply of this GPU, and massive free performance. Okay, it's news time, and first up for today. If you remember, before AMD announced their Ryzen 5000 series of CPUs, they were only going to be supported on 500 series boards. But after some big pushback, AMD decided to support the 400 series as well. Of course, that still left out the 300 series chipsets, but it was definitely more understandable given they were a few years old at that point. Well, fast forward to just a few days ago, and David McAfee claimed that AMD's actually working on bringing support to 300 series boards. And with that, ASRock has become the first motherboard vendor to add support with their X370 Pro. Now, one of the reasons AMD didn't want to do this before is because there's only so much storage on the board for BIOS. So what ASRock did was remove support for Bristol Ridge, and they also suggest not updating if you have Pinnacle, Raven, or Summit Ridge. Either way, this is great news for anyone hoping to upgrade with a 300 series board. Now, that is over a year after the Ryzen 5000 series, but better late than never. But first, the new year is a great time for a fresh start and to work for something new. And there's no better place to channel that energy than with today's sponsor, Brilliant, the ultimate online STEM learning platform. Whether you're ready to pursue a career in tech or just learn more about how it all works, Brilliant is the best. And they've got a huge catalog that keeps growing, from things like scientific thinking to algorithm fundamentals and a ton more. But the best part is that they teach you with fun, interactive lessons. Like with, say, coding, you can learn through fun challenges instead of just reading about syntax, etc. And you can try it out for free with a 7-day free trial, so there's nothing to lose. To get started for free, check out brilliant.org/gamermeld or click the link in the description. And the first 200 users get 20% off the annual premium today. Next up for today, we still aren't sure about a release date for Intel's discrete ARC GPUs, given the company removed Q1 from their website right after they said nothing at CES. With that said, they do seem to be planning a big release when it happens. In a new report by 4Onyx, Intel added a whopping 20 PCI Express IDs with DG2 and a new commit to the Linux Mesa graphics driver. Now, while all of these IDs may not mean actual products, they at least have that many. And really, they very well could release them all. Of course, some of these are likely mobile chips, professional variants, etc. Still, that's a pretty big commit, and it at least shows us that Intel is still serious about their ARC GPU lineup. According to video cards, they expect entry-level models based on the 128 EU GPU first, with the most powerful parts releasing in Q2. Time, as always, will tell. Next up, Nvidia just announced their RTX 3090 Ti at CES, followed by quietly releasing a 12GB 3080 set to come between the already tiny margins of the 3080 and 3080 Ti. Well, it looks like they still aren't done. In new filings from Gigabyte and Asus with the EEC, both companies are preparing new RTX 3070 Ti's with 16GB of GDDR6X. That's right, having a 3070 and 3070 Ti with 8GB wasn't enough. Oh no, Nvidia thinks we need one with 16GB, all while they just released a 3080 with only 12GB, not to mention the fact that we can't even buy a GPU in the first place. And this has made me seriously question Nvidia's sanity. I mean, GPUs are still selling for absurd prices, yet we've got Nvidia over here pretending like someone bought a 3070 Ti but just felt like they needed double the memory. What? No, people just wish they could buy a regular 3070 Ti without selling their car. Every 5 minutes, Nvidia releases a new GPU. Of course, that release is just on paper since gamers only have half a second to actually buy it. Originally, we thought the 16GB 3070 Ti was postponed because Nvidia figured out the gamers don't want yet another fake GPU. Well, I guess that's not the case. With that said, I do actually have some good news when it comes to GPU supply. Of course, you might as well forget about the 16GB 3070 Ti, but there's a GPU you may actually be able to get very soon. Originally shared on the Board Channels forum and later by IT Home along with a ton of other outlets, Nvidia is apparently planning to release a big supply of RTX 3050s at launch. Specifically, it sounds like in the first shipment. Now, the reason could be because the Chinese New Year is shortly after that, so Nvidia could be getting as many out as they can before there's a big delay. Of course, by the time they actually get there, maybe after the New Year, but either way, it looks like the RTX 3050 may be your best bet to pick a GPU at a decent price. Either way, I'll have an affiliate link to the 3050 down in the description below for when those are released. And lastly for today, AMD shared a new video that they actually showed during CES, but there's one thing that not a lot of people are talking about. The video was made to show off their upcoming Adrenalin driver, and first up they go over AMD Link 5.0, which basically lets you play your PC games pretty much anywhere. Then they mention a new feature called AMD Privacy View, which apparently uses head and eye tracking tech to hide certain parts of your monitor depending on what's being looked at. And finally is the main event. They show off RSR, and it's here where they make a pretty big claim. According to this, AMD's upcoming tech can get up to 1.7 times the performance. This demo is using Warframe at 1440p with RSR to upscale it to 4K. Now, obviously the 4K native will likely look better, but that's a big difference, especially given AMD flat says it will work in thousands of games right off the bat. Basically, for anyone hoping to make their GPU last longer, RSR looks to be a great way to do that. Remember that it's set to work using AMD's driver, and the only requirement is that it needs full screen mode. That's it. So while that does it for today, are you pumped for Radeon Super Resolution, or are you just hoping to finally get a new card? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. And as always, have a great day.